Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Danette's Kitchen. Just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about something that interesting that happened to me the other day. And I know I said I was going to stop at the store and planned on doing some shopping for some poultry to do, my next video with. But it turned out that something came up. Well, a couple of somethings came up. Got a nice surprise, number one. Um, totally didn't expect it, but it really made my day. Someone that I hadn't seen for a long time kind of showed up, and it was a nice surprise visit. And so, yeah, I was all amped and excited to be able to see that old friend and, recount some of the things that we had experienced over the years, and, because it's been a long time since we've seen each other. Um, But another really awesome thing happened. There was, I got a text message that someone was coming up by my job, and of course I had seen this organization show up to my job before, and they were coming to pick up food. But what's unique about them is that they weren't dropping off, number one. And usually at my job, we're getting food dropped off, food dropped off. So much food dropped off till sometimes it gets to be a little bit overwhelming and more than the residents are able to handle. And they're just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Can we take a break on this, or is there somewhere where I can donate some of what was just donated to me? But Friday, there was someone that showed up um, to pick up some of those donations, which I say, I think was pretty awesome. I got the text and I was like, okay. So I put together a couple of boxes and not sure how many people was going to be there to help move this stuff, but it gets kind of heavy for me personally having to lift and move that kind of stuff. So I had it on my little flatbed cart, and when I heard they're here, I went outside and it was one person with a bicycle. My mouth kind of dropped open. I walked up to him and went around the bike, checking the bike out. Very nice bike in good condition, and it had a very nice trailer on the back of the bike, but it was one person. And that bike didn't have a motor, because if it was me and I'm trying to pick up some food, um, I'd need a motor because I don't know that I'd make it to the end of the block. And the end of the block is very close for me, but I don't know that I'd make it to the end of the block having to not only carry my own weight, but to carry weight of food donations. And so my friend that told me about this had brought several boxes for herself. And then there was the two boxes that I had added to it. And I just thought, whoa, there is no way that this person is gonna bike with all this stuff. But he had like, 3 or 4 Rubbermaid bins, or those kind of reusable storage bins. And he was like neatly putting everything in there. Hi, how you doing? Still had his bike helmet on. Doot, doot, doot. I said, your bicycle doesn't have a motor. He said, nah, I don't need a motor. Like, what? Apparently, this guy started a nonprofit last year called Bikes and Bites. And he started it during the pandemic. So we were in the midst of the pandemic, towards the beginning of the pandemic, and we had the civil unrest going on, and there were many homeless people in my city that were sleeping in the park. And he decided, I'm just going to start a nonprofit and I'm going to gather some food, collect food for people, and I'm going to make sure it gets where it needs to go so people can have food to eat. Now, he's not just driving around 1 or 2 blocks. He said he does about 40 miles in a day, which is like going from Minneapolis to St. Paul to back to Minneapolis to drop off here and dropping off there. No complaints. In the previous time, when some people from his group showed up, it was, I believe, him and 2 more people with bikes. But on Friday, it was just him. He loaded all that stuff up. I'm still standing there with my mouth hanging open, and he tightened everything, tied it all down, and I said, "You're going to ride your bike with all that stuff on the back of it. And I am going to try to add a picture in so that you can see what I'm talking about." "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I do this all the time," he says. "Okay. I hope you're not going uphill. Is it downhill all the way?" Because, like I said, I couldn't make it personally from here to the corner with that amount of stuff. And when I put the picture in, you'll see what I'm talking about. "Yep, no problem." He said, After this, I might, take a break for a few days." Yeah, after if I would have gone 40 miles in a day, I'd be taking a break for longer than a few days." But bikes, no, bikes and bites. Um, they have an Instagram page, they have a Facebook page, and I hope that you'll check them out. If you are in the Twin Cities area in Minnesota, this is an organization that was really out there doing it, and they were doing it all through the pandemic and the civil unrest. They didn't let anything stop them. They're out there helping people. And when people help other people, I think that's awesome because sometimes people are going through a hard time and we just really have no idea how bad that hard time is. Sometimes people won't even tell you, "Oh, I don't have anything to eat." "Nope, just got this last loaf of bread and don't get paid for another week or so." And they just won't tell you. So you just never know how great the need is. But think of yourself. Because, treat other people the way you would want to be treated. We don't know everyone's circumstance. And the good that you send out can come back to you. Good measure. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It can be given into your bosom. But you put out that positive comes back. And it's not necessarily that you need to know who the food is going to. Know that there's a need and that it will go where it needs to go. Um, what else can I say? It's not about patting yourself on the back, but doing some good with what you have. If you're able to help somebody else in any kind of a way, I think that's awesome. I'm going to try to attach the picture here, and I didn't shop for that chicken, like I said. I did get cherries. I went to the global market and I got some cherries. And they said, "Oh, lucky you. Everyone that buys cherries today is getting a half a gallon of lemonade." Great. I love lemonade. So I definitely took it. But I hope you're doing well. And I hope that you take a moment to consider helping someone else or doing something to brighten someone else's day. And I'll talk to you again soon.